Good afternoon.
Hi.
Hi. I have a question about the spiritual ego.
Yeah.
And you just talked after the break about the swirl in the center.
Mm-hmm.
And at one of the satsangs you mentioned that for some reason, sometimes even easy if people come to awakening without any spiritual past.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I'm a difficult case because I've been in a spiritual school for many, many years. And I felt like I built a big spiritual ego.
You were able to what?
I built this
you built
big,
the spiritual ego. Oh, yeah. Yes.
Oh, maybe even many of them.
Sure, yeah. The spiritual schools are good for that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's what it feels like.
It's a preferable form of ego. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and anytime when I'm looking for something really deep inside, like what I really want, what do I really want? And suddenly this voice says, oh, of course you want awakening, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
And if this ego doesn't want, then something else says, well, you're just spiritual ego. I know the truth.
Yeah. Battling spiritual egos.
Yes.
You're a spiritual ego. Well,
Yeah,
the only thing
right.
that says that is usually another one.
Exactly.
Especially if it does it in a condemning sort of fashion.
Yes, and it feels like when I come to your satsangs,
mm-hmm.
here's the third or fourth one gets built, and
yes, very dangerous, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
How can I get to what I really am? Like,
well, look inside. What are you really?
sometimes it feels like they're building each other.
We're not concerned with them. I'm concerned with you. You look inside. No, don't be spiritual. We're not being spiritual, okay? It's very important that you and I, that we here, not play spiritual to do this. We can't look inside if we're playing spiritual. We're very simple. Like we are 5 years old in a sandbox. That kind of simplicity. You know?
Yes.
Like we just met. Hey. And we don't even know what looking inside means, right? We don't know all that spiritual mumbo jumbo mystical crap that we're going to look inside and, you know?
Yes.
We're just pushing, I don't know, I'm pushing my Tonka truck and I'm not sure what you'd be doing, but, you know, pouring sand over my head or something. And we just start having this conversation, right?
Yes.
And geez, it occurred to me while I'm just playing around, and I looked and said, what am I? It just occurred to me. Have you ever noticed? Have you ever asked yourself the question, what are you? What happens when you look inside? I look inside and you look inside. Let's look inside together since we're sitting in the sandbox together. Right?
Yes.
And we probably have the similar assumptions, right? I'm going to look inside, look for myself. Look for the real, true version of me, what I really, really, really am. And so I'll look inside. So I'll do it just like you do it. I look inside. I don't find it.
Yes.
Do you?
No.
Have you ever found it?
No, that's why suddenly the ego says, what's the problem?
Okay, there we go. So here we are, okay?
Yeah, yes.
So we look inside to find out who and what I really am, right? And you look inside and there's nothing there.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
There's always been nothing there.
Yes.
At the very first time you looked inside, there was nothing there.
Absolutely.
And the thousandth time, there's nothing there, unless you create something.
Right.
But even if you create it, you can still look, is that what I really am? Of course not. What am I? There's nothing there. Nothing, 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 nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. Well, who's noticing that there's nothing there? So you look at that. If you stay simple, it's simple. There's still nothing there. What notices that? I don't know, because there's nothing there to notice it. You follow me?
Yes.
It's very simple, isn't it?
It is.
We get so complex that we lose this. There's actually nothing there. So what is it that notices there's nothing there? Well, apparently it's the nothing that's there that notices that there's nothing there.
Yes.
So apparently this nothing is not so much nothing, right? It actually is a conscious nothing. Obviously, because here it is looking at itself. It's not a self, is it?
No.
It's not a better version of me or you. It's not even an enlightened version of me or you, if the truth's told.
Right.
It's just nothing. No thing. Awake, conscious emptiness. You want to know what you are? There you go. That's what you got to deal with.
Yes.
You want to know what enlightenment's all about? It's right there. It's not hidden. It's the first thing. That's the amazing thing. It's the first thing. It's the first thing. You look, why do we all go the first time when someone says, "What are you really?" We all go, "I don't know." Why do we say that? Because we look inside and we don't find anything, right?
Right.
And we think, that can't be right, so I'll keep looking. Somebody told me there's a true self in there. And I must have made a mistake, so I'm just going to keep looking.
Right.
But after you've looked for a while, it starts to dawn on you, wait a minute, there's nothing there. That's what I have to deal with.
Right. But all this baggage from years and years that you've been told that
Yes.
you have to do ABC
Yes.
to get to awakening.
Yes. It's crap.
Yes, it is, but
Yeah.
it feels real. It sits there.
Of course it feels real. But that's why we're doing the investigation. So that you can see for yourself what's real and what's not. For yourself. That's the amazing thing about all this. You're going to find out that not only were you wrong about this, like I found that I was wrong about all this and about everything I thought I was, but most of the great authorities are also wrong.
Yeah, that's what I'm finding now.
Right?
Yes.
There's not all of them are wrong, but many more than we ever dreamed. And it's shocking. But you know, it's not really that different. A lot of our great politicians are full of shit too. But they're really convinced they're not.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Yes, it is liberating.
That's the shocking thing. We have all these authority figures, and that's why I always say, don't take me on as another authority figure. Look for yourself. Find out for yourself.
Yes.
That's the secret. Don't take it on somebody else's word. It's never going to be good enough, is it?
No.
But here we are. This is something that I would suggest is universal. Everybody, when they look inside under their thoughts and ideas and their beliefs and their da-da-da-da, all the nonsense, and then they look inside to what or who it is that's looking, they don't find anything. They don't find anybody. And their mind doesn't know what to do with that. I say, since that's what everybody finds, everybody, maybe it's worth paying attention to, huh?
Yes.
Maybe that's worth paying. Maybe nothing is worth paying attention to. It may end up not to be just the nothing that we create when we think about nothing.
So that would remove this emotional string.
Sure.
That feeds this spiritual.
That is the biggest, it's not the only, but it's certainly the biggest step to take. Is that when that realization and the sort of the aha that comes through your whole being, your body, it tends to come just by bringing attention back there. Oh, there's nothing. I can't find me. What can I find? There's nothing there. What's it like? You see, then the exploration of nothing shows up, right?
Right.
How big is it? How old is it? Is it a man or is it a woman? Nothing. You see what I mean?
Yes.
Oh, apparently not. What belief does this nothing have? It's very quiet, isn't it? Are you a Buddhist? Nothing? Nothing. Christian? Nothing. Hindu? Nothing. Jew? Nothing. Right?
Yes.
Are you an Advaitic? Nothing. Apparently it's not playing that game, is it?
No.
No. So you can just, asking questions, you kind of brings you into an exploration of that which we call nothing.
Right, and don't have any expectations.
The expectations kill it. Because you will create your expectation. Mm-hmm. Why is it that Christians have visions of Christ?
Because they create it.
They expect to. Yeah. Right. Why is it if you chant Krishna 18 hours a day, one day you wake up and you have a little Krishna guy dancing?
Yes.
Because you conditioned yourself to have that vision. And so it goes, doesn't it?
It is.
Over, on and on and on and on and on and on and on. So, yes, this is about unconditioning ourself. Unconditioning, the unconditioned, the unconditioned. You see how it connects? The unconditioned, emptiness isn't conditioned, is it?
No.
The unborn, is the emptiness born or see what I mean?
It is nothing.
Right. The formless, pretty formless. You see, things start to connect when you start to, all these sort of weird words, they start to connect. They're all pointing in the same direction, right?
Yes.
Ramana, the self, which is just his word for the nothing, the self has no color, no form. There it is. You see, in you and I, we think that's far away and mystical and way out there.
Right.
That's why we miss it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
We think we're looking for a needle in a haystack.
Right.
Actually, the only thing you got to find is the haystack.
Oh, yes.
But it's hard to find the haystack when you're looking for the needle, right? This can't be it. I'm looking for the...
Yes.
This can't be hay. Why not? Because it's too easy to find. Hell, I'm looking for something else.
Oh, yes.
It's not hidden. That's what better place for the reality to hide itself, which is right out in the open.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just hang out there for a while. You might be amazed. And you will see things crumble. Some crumble easy, some of the ideas, some of the things you and I were taught, and some crumble easy and some crumble hard. Some are kind of devastating when they fall because we had so much of ourself hung up in them.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. But when you see that what's going on around here, that everything is an avoidance of nothing. Including 95% of spirituality is a very nice, convenient ploy to avoid nothing.
Right. Right.
Even as it talks about nothing, it avoids nothing. It's very tricky, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. This is about the ridiculously obvious, not the mysteriously hidden.
Right.
Just the ridiculously obvious. And just by resting with it, not making anything out of it. Don't even let your mind, all minds, they have an image. As soon as we say nothingness, there's an image there, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not quite it either. And just hang out with that, and it will reveal itself. It's about the fullest emptiness you'll ever bump into. And we miss it because at first bump, it's often not extraordinary at all. It's not, I'm looking for something that's extraordinary. Can't be this.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes the most extraordinary things come in the most ordinary packages.
Yes, it feels like maybe I did bump into it, but
of course you did.
But it wasn't too explosive or extraordinary.
That's right. That's right. And you're going along looking for something explosive. You read the books, you hear all the stories. Explosive. It can be that way. But often, if there is something explosive to happen, it happens by hanging out with nothing. It doesn't happen by running around waiting for explosive things to happen. Because you can create some really explosive things. Have you noticed?
Yes.
Yeah, you do spirituality, the various schools, the various practices. Hell, they've been doing this for thousands of years. They know how to produce extraordinary experiences.
Of course.
Right?
Yes.
And then you have it and you think, I'm getting there.
Oh, yeah. And in the morning, they're gone.
Yeah, and then they're gone in the morning. Right. And they're gone. And then you go, well, if I just could do that
one more time.
Wow, yeah, one more, it'll do it. Right? And then you do it one more time, and then you think, one more time. Yes. And then after 20 years of that, you go, wait a minute.
Exactly.
All I've ended up with is being a junkie to transitory experiences. I'm no different than the heroin junkie in the gutter.
You got it.
Yeah. You see, we know each other.
Yes.
We've all done. Most of us have all played the same game, but the game's okay because it's the game that gets us to wake up from the game. At some point, your innate intelligence, our innate intelligence, goes, wait a minute. It comes out of denial. It starts to come out of the trance. What's going on? It's like coming out of some cult, you know, like, wait a minute. What the hell is going on here? Do we need all the, to put on those tennis shoes and get ready for Hail Bob, or are we just nuts? Right?
Absolutely.
Right. Just because there's a lot of us, does that mean anything? Right?
Yes.
Why the hell, there's a lot of people doing wars. Does that mean it's a good idea? Yeah. So that's not, and something goes, wait a minute. And that's shocking. When consciousness starts to wake up from its slumber, it's not just yours, slumber. It's universal slumber. It's 99% of humanity totally asleep at the wheel, including most of those who are teaching humanity how to drive.
Yes.
It's like, wait a minute. But that is an extraordinary moment. It can disorient you, can't it? It can really throw you for a loop, confuse you, disorient you, but also it starts to deliver you right back where you belong. Remember those original teachings? Look within. For you, which means, and the only one that can look within is you. For yourself.
Yes.
Look within. For yourself.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Enjoy yourself. Yeah. We all have this capacity. That's the amazing thing. One of the first thoughts I had when it really revealed itself was, how did I miss this? And then the next thing I realized is, I didn't miss it. I just dismissed it. But only over and over and over and over and over. How did I miss this? How could I have missed this that I never really missed? But how did I look over it, look past it, over and over and over? I always knew I was pretending to be the person I presented. I always knew that, right? That's why everyone goes around feeling insecure about themselves, because they know they're faking it. They know if they stop faking it, well, who would I be? There it is, right? Silence. Nothing.